little steps like that, they will help you long term. Hey there, Coach Devin here. So I was at the beach recently and I noticed something. Listen, I'm a huge beach fan. Love the beach. Like going to the beach. I've always liked the beach. I grew up near the beach. And I went to the beach recently and I noticed something that I'm curious if you guys have all noticed as well. So I went to the beach and people look a lot different than they used to at the beach. Now I'm flashing back to when I was in high school, right? Or right after high school. So now I'm not that old. But I am 47 years old, so it's a little while ago, right? We're talking 25 years, give or take, ago. And people look a lot different then than they do now at the beach. So what's going on with that? Why is that, and are people actually bigger? So my first thought was when I went to the beach, I looked around and I thought, wow, okay, wait a second. When I was at the beach as a kid, or let's say in high school, 1992 forward, you go to the beach, if somebody was overweight or bigger, right, they stuck out. You notice them, right? I had a friend, he's a little heavier. He wasn't morbidly obese by any stretch of the imagination, a little bit heavier. And you know what? You could tell. I knew he was uncomfortable with it. I felt bad for him, but he definitely stuck out. You could see it, right? The average was people were thin. That's the way people looked. And I didn't grow up in some, never land. I grew up in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. It's just an average spot, and that's the way people looked. Now when you go to the beach, if my friend had been with us, he would be on the thinner side, and people go up from there. In fact, when you go to the beach nowadays, if you see somebody who isn't heavy, you notice them. So what's going on with that? Is that real? Is that a thing that's actually happening? So I decided I'm going to do a little bit of research and let's look into this. So these are US numbers, but they translate to Canada as well. I mean, this is the way things are. So the average adult male now in the US weighs 198 pounds or so. The average adult female weighs 170 pounds. To give you an idea, from 1990, which is about the time I was talking about, in 1990 I was in grade 10, grade 11, the average adult male was more than 20 pounds lighter, and the average adult female also more than 20 pounds lighter. Now, why does this matter? Why do we care? I mean, who gives a damn, right? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think, comment down below, do you think people are getting bigger? Do you care if anybody's getting bigger? Well, here's what I'll tell you why it is you should care if people are getting bigger. People are getting bigger on a regular basis, and that's causing health problems. Now, I know nowadays we all talk about, body positivity. I am all for body positivity. I think people should be happy with the way they look. You should try to, though, be as healthy as you can be. I obviously am bigger than the average person. So technically, I'm going to have some of those same health issues as people who are overweight would have, because I am technically, it's muscle, but I'm still overweight. I'm 240 pounds. The average adult male is 42 pounds lighter than I am. That can be problematic, right? That is going to cause some problems for me. But where we need to think about is, if we are gaining 20 pounds in about 25 years, about a pound a year, roughly, give or take, that means the average adult male will be somewhere around 220 pounds in 20 years, and the average adult female, who's at 170 now, will be 190. The average adult, give you an idea of heights, the average adult woman is 5'4", 5'3.5" to 5'4", and the average adult male is about 5'9". 5'9", 220 is big. That's a big person. Give you an idea, I'm 5'10", I'm 240. I don't think I'm enormous, but I'm certainly not small. The average adult woman now at 5'4", 5'3", at 170 pounds is not small. But you throw an extra 20 pounds on that, which is another 20 pounds more than it was 20 years ago, we have a problem. And what we're looking at right now, quite frankly, is an epidemic. We are seeing an epidemic of weight gain and people who are horribly, horribly unfit. And what does that do? Well, it causes all kinds of health-related problems. Type 2 diabetes is spiking. Right now, there's in the US, about 463 million people with, I believe that, yeah, I think that's the numbers, 463 million worldwide with type 2 diabetes. In 20 years, they're assuming it will be somewhere around 700 million. That's 700 million, it's more than double. Type 2 diabetes is almost doubling year by year for numbers of new cases. That is a frightening thought. That's what is happening. And listen, people will say, well, it's just diabetes, right? No big deal. Well, diabetes is actually a dangerous disease. If you're diabetic and you don't take care of yourself, you have problems. Your life expectancy is shorter. It's not good. No one out there, I guarantee you, if you're not a diabetic right now and you're saying, it's not a big deal with diabetes, go talk to somebody who has diabetes and ask them if it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You know what? They have health-related problems from that. That's not good. They would rather not have diabetes. They understand how serious it is. Type 2 or type 1, but type 2 diabetes, to give you an idea, is mostly related to lifestyle choices. So if you are sedentary, if you do not exercise, if you're overweight, those things contribute to type 2 diabetes. Bad diet. Bad diets, they really contribute to type 2 diabetes as well. Nobody wants diabetes. Diabetes is a dangerous disease. It can kill you. And people don't realize that, but type 2 diabetes can kill you. If new cases of diabetes are doubling year by year, we have a real problem. So when I go to the beach and I look around and I say, wow, people are bigger than they used to be, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Now, why is that happening? Well, we have much more sedentary lives now. People are sitting around a lot. We have a lot more junk food. Think about it. When you were a kid, did you eat as much junk food as kids eat now? Well, no, you don't, because people don't have as much junk food then as they do now. People go out to eat more now, a lot more processed foods now, not more foods with, some crappy stuff in it. Like, those are the things we have to be concerned about when we're going forward on this stuff. That is not good. So when you go to the beach, when you look at the average size person, you have to take a step back and go, okay, wait a second, we're not going in a good direction. In fact, we're going in a very bad direction. We're heading in a direction where people are going to get less healthy. That costs healthcare dollars. It shortens people's lives. Type 2 diabetes will shorten people's lives. Being sedentary and being way too overweight will shorten your life from stroke, from diabetics, from heart attacks, from all kinds of things. So let's take a look at it and say, wait a second, if this has happened that much in my lifetime, and I'm not that old yet, I know I'm looking a little older nowadays, but I am not that old, how much worse is this going to get down the road? It's going to get bad. And listen, I am not fat shaming anybody. That's not my point here. My point here is to say that we are getting, as a society, bigger, and that's not necessarily a good thing, right? Being bigger is not always good. It does have health problems attached to it. If you're heavier than a person lying on the couch, guess what? You're going to have more health issues. I'm going to have more health issues than some guy lying on the couch who's a skinny dude. That doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right. It sucks, but it's true because I am carrying more weight. That means that there can be more problems for me based on the fact that I'm just heavier. And you know what? I don't think anybody's going to say to me, okay, Devin, well, you're way too big. You shouldn't be that big. Nobody's saying that. People are saying, obviously I have muscle, but that muscle, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's muscle or whether it's fat. It's still going to cause health-related problems over the person who is smaller than you are. Sucks. Not fair. Not cool. Pisses me off too. I'm sure it pisses you off too, but those are the scientific facts, unfortunately. That's just how science works. If you're heavier, you tend to have more health-related problems. So we need to start looking at it. What I do for a living is help people lose weight, right? I help people get more healthy, not always just lose weight. Sometimes people don't lose a lot of weight and just get more healthy. That's fine too. That's all good. I want people to be healthy in general. You can be healthy pretty much at most weights. You can be healthier, I should say, at any weight if you try hard. But if you're gaining weight and getting bigger on a regular basis, and as a society we are getting bigger like that, where we're gaining about a pound a year as a society, we're in problems. Imagine, just think about this for a second. If I, for the next 20 years, gain 1 pound a year, I'm 240 now, I'd be 260 in 20 years. That's getting big. Think about yourself. If you gained a pound a year for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, that doesn't look good, right? You're going to look at yourself and go, holy shit, that's a lot of weight to gain. So if that's what the average person is doing, we do need to take steps. So what do you do about that? How do you fix that problem? Eat better, exercise, sleep. Eat better just means eat more healthy food that has higher nutritional value and lower calories. That's all you have to do. It's not rocket science here, guys. more nutritious food. We all know what nutritious food is. Chips are not nutritious. Chicken breast, much better for you. Salad, good for you. Pouring all kinds of, dressing all over salad, probably not a good thing to do. Go easy on the dressing. Good choices, right? Don't overeat. Don't eat too many calories. Track your calories, figure out how many calories you're taking in, and then exercise. You don't have to be like me and be in a gym every day, but you do need to do something on a regular basis to get your heart rate up, get you sweaty, make sure your cardiovascular is strong. Listen, if you don't lose any weight, that's not the end of the world, because you can get healthier at any weight. You can stave off all kinds of things if you eat well, you sleep, and you exercise some. And I'm not saying an hour a day, every single day. No, it doesn't need to be that. It can be less. Heck, if you exercise 3 times a week and you have been doing nothing, you're going to be way ahead, right? So think about it that way. Short things like that, little steps like that, they will help you long term. If you have comments, questions, things you want me to talk about, write them up down below. I love to hear from you. I usually respond to everything unless you're really ripping me. And sometimes I respond anyway. Hope everybody's having a great day. Don't fight the awesome.